Troy, you will see, is on the right side here. Delaware on the left. Oh no, I didn't do my bans. Although, actually, I don't think I read Delaware's ban. I'm unsure if, like, I just missed it. But, anyways, we'll have Troy on the attack here. Oh, that's a Curiosity Rover? It's a pretty cool reference, actually. Here we have Troy, though, getting ready to attack here on this Lijiang Tower control point. So, we see for our lineup here, we're going to have a Kariko, Cassidy, Bridget, Symmetra, and Ramatra. Sorry for the pause there. And honestly, well, now we're switching to a Juno on the rope. Nope, switching back to the Karika. Alright, well, a bit confusing, but that's just fine here. So already getting to our first engagement here, we see that Troy is really pretty even here. Nobody's taken any ground over the other in particular. But also damage is pretty even as well, actually. Here on this. No, Mackie taking a large portion of damage there. Yeah, pretty even though so far, especially in terms of the fact that this is control of the whole team. And getting first blood there is Antares on Snow. Good start there for Troy. Getting this point capped right here. And let's take a look here at what our players are seeing. Spruce here on the Cassidy taking a nice position here, especially getting those shots off. Good aim here by Spruce, doing a lot of damage here, especially on the Osira, that tank taking full charge, but they will not be able to really get a foothold here so far on Troy. Using a lot of utility here, though. Troy nearly at their first ult here. Spruce about to have that high noon coming up. And DX on the Kariko on Delaware, about to have that ult. There we go, ult now for Kariko. Spruce though, this high noon coming in soon, potentially. Kasune going off. Team kill though there for Troy. That kind of came out of nowhere. I didn't quite catch it as it happened, but there we go. A team kill here for Troy. An amazing start there for our squad. And we just see here, you know, Delaware's kind of been pushed back all the way to their spawn, really. I mean, this is a good start, I will say, but not one that I expected by any means. Spruce here taking a very offensive position. Lauren on the Osira taking some space, though. And, yeah, losing that Cassidy there on that front line really has dealt some damage to Troy. The Ramatra left all by himself here. Antar is going to go down by Laura. Mackie attack actually taking down Antares. And yeah, now going to move up here on this Osira, really doing some damage here to Troy. But again, you know, it's kind of like what we just saw what Troy did, you know, push Delaware back to their spawn. And now Troy's kind of having the same done to them. But the thing is, Troy has more options here for progressing up to actually get on the site. We have Jacob here on the Bridget, doing a lot here, getting very aggressive here, trying to take this point back. Getting contested, though. Troy has made their way pretty much fully back onto this one. The Ramatra here, or no, not Ramatra, excuse me. Braxy here. And again, Troy just absolutely dominating. When Troy gets situated, and they kind of start pushing together, even though Delaware is here fully on site, there's not much they can do. And again, on the Ramatra there, being very aggressive is Antares, but he will go down. Looking here at Braxy, another one down too. But Troy will cap the first point to take a 1-0 lead against Delaware here. A great start here for Troy. We saw, you know, especially when they had first got control of the point. Well, we saw actually at the very start of the round that it was pretty even, you know, like a standard control point match, especially on Lijiang. So we met in the middle, and then we had a bit of a gunfight, you could say, just a bit of a brawl, but Troy definitely held out a little better, got actual stable control of the point first, and then from that, they just used their momentum to push Delaware back into their own spawn. And of course, Troy did get pushed back into their spawn for a moment there, but regardless of that, Troy really did do a good job of retaking the point and finishing off right there. We will see here Troy taking a quick position here on the point. Braxy here on the Symmetra, doing a lot of damage. Osira really pushing hard into the side, but really it doesn't seem to be his team is coming with him. It seems that he is there by himself, but again, his team doesn't really feel the need to come with him on site fully here. Contesting is Osira, but Troy will be capping the site pretty quickly here with 3 on, and not Troy, actually. My apologies. Delaware will be capping the site here to go ahead and get an early lead in percentage, and Troy having to fall back. Waiting on an opportunity to get to push as a team here is Troy. Smart by them, especially when you only have 1 DPS there to push with. So getting very aggressive here is Delaware, holding an aggressive position, which is, yeah, this is exactly how you're supposed to hold your point. Especially with Troy pushed back, not into their spawn, but definitely into the few common entry points into the open area. Enterez here on the Ramatra, though, getting very aggressive, taking space here for Troy, allowing those DPS to move up and the support as well. We can see here dealing a lot of damage. Braxley on the Cassidy, taking 2 there. Really putting in work, taking 3 there. Maybe another one, no, but that was a great job there. And, whoa, speaking, there goes another one. And Braxley here really is putting in the work for Troy. Switching to this Cassidy was definitely the right option here. That Symmetra maybe not working quite as well for him, but he came onto this Cassidy and really just lit Delaware on fire. 4 kills consecutively. Exactly what Troy needs here. Switching back here onto the Ramacha and Enterez, putting in the work here, really in a brawl here with the Osira, a classic tank brawl. Mackie switching to the Bastion. Bastion is my favorite hero, by the way. I love Bastion. Random note, by the way. Sorry. Anyways, looking here, Troy, again, just, they got down. They lost the point early and started losing some of the cap space. Delaware started capping. And then now, I mean, Troy just completely in control here. As we can see, Delaware pushed back into their spawn. But pushing up hard here is Lauren, of course, taking charge as tanks do. And getting into an engagement here with Ramatra. A lot going on here for Troy, pushing multiple sides. Looking like they may need to fall back to site here soon. Braxy, though, coming over here with the Cassidy, playing an aggressive position. Jacob going to take Snow there. Saving and punching Hariko dead in the face. Love to see that by Braxy, but taking a lot of damage, and he will go down, unfortunately. Looking like Troy needs to regroup as a whole here. Left only 3 on site. And going back. Yeah, we will see that. Troy did hold out, though, despite losing a few, going back to site, and Snow still isn't back yet. So if Delaware decides to push now, they will be pushing with only 4. And looking like a bit of a split push, taking site here by himself a bit, is Osira. And on that Ramacha, just having an absolute brawl of the Titans here. Putting in a lot of work here is Antares, really holding this site down while his team is dead, unfortunately. But there goes Troy. Now, 1% left on this cap for Troy. All they need is to contest it for but a second, and they will be able to move on to this next map with a 1-0 lead here in our first game of the Overwatch season. Pushing together here, Spruce coming in hot on the... And Jacob here on the support, just playing backside. And then the Bastion getting very aggressive. There is Mackie, not working out for him that ability. Hoping, I'm sure, to get a little more damage on Antares so that he could take more space. But again, that is not the case. And Spruce being taken out here on the Sojourn. Braxy putting in the work, looking at this kill cam. I should be watching him a little more. Getting another one there. And yeah, holding this site. Popping the high noon just for the fun of it. And Troy will take a 1-0 lead here at the start of our 2026 Overwatch season. Let's see here. My money's on... What? Lauren. Actually, I will admit Lauren was putting in the work this game. I was putting my money on Braxy taking that, though. Yeah, this is... Yep. This is from the very start of Li Jiang. And need to be able to come, take that cap point quickly, and then... hold it, of course, right? But also, you need to be able to be even more dynamic than you are on control. Because I mean, you think about control real quick. You think about the fact that, of course, you need to be able to retake. You need to be well, to put it as simple as possible, you need to be able to attack and defend to effectively play control to the best of your ability, right? So I would say that in order for Troy to succeed here, all they need to do is play that same tempo they played right there on that control. But then when they cap this point, if they cap this point, of course, not going to assume that that is just going to happen automatically. But seeing what we just saw from Troy, I would put my money on Troy being able to really give Delaware a fight here. Setting up my static cameras here. Excuse me, guys. But yeah, anyways, I mean, playing much of the same. Oh, there's a Bastion. There we go. There we go. Spruce is on the Bastion. Love to see it, guys. You know, like I just said, I love Bastion, man. I love Bastion a lot. Braxy getting aggressive here, you know, being that initiator that he is. Already taking a fight there with Lauren on the Sigma. And looking like he had a bit of mouse trouble there or something, kind of going AFK, but yeah. So taking quick fights here on the Sojourn. I mean, again, like we saw last game on that control. And Spruce taking Mackie for that first blood for Troy. Great start there. I mean, we're just seeing, yeah, again, it's like just that initial gunfight that you get into, and then Braxy going ahead and taking Snow as well. The Widowmaker going off the board. A good kill. Braxy getting another one there. And again, Troy just in total control. I mean, letting the game flow. You can just see not much commentary needed. Kind of playing the simples right. Capping that point, like I said, and now they need to transition into that moving, attacking kind of core that required of you to be able to move the payload effectively. Right, Mackie going to take Spruce out here. Bastion on Bastion. And moving over here to watch Antares here on the Sigma. Yeah, just in the thick of it here. Throwing the rock. I love to see that. And yeah, again, just holding this space effectively. This is what I was talking about with Antares. He's effectively holding this space, and this is exactly what you need out of your tank. Of course, not drawing too much attention as he would like to. Now he is, especially the opposing Sigma looking this way. And going into our aerial view here, you can see just a lot happening here, especially like Delaware is kind of in that general area, like with their Sigma and their Bastion, and then Snow taking the attacking position here on the Widowmaker. Yeah, just there we go, Troy. There we go, moving, breaking through here, getting the payload on a roll. And yeah, I mean, again, like I said, there's not a lot to really commentate on when Troy's in control like this. Braxy taking out DX there. Another one for Braxy. Like I said, need to watch him a little bit more. He is really putting in the work here on this DPS, this hit scan. This is really what Braxy is known for, though, is to be able to utilize his aim to get a lot of value out of these hit scan DPS. And an ult coming in here from the Bastion, going to take out Braxy there, the artillery effective. But Spruce will send his own there. Now, Mackie putting in the work there, getting two. Lauren following up, Sigma. Troy losing numbers here quickly, but not quite out of the fight. Falling back, though, to wait for their teammates here is Troy. Braxy taking some pot shots there, but not really going to make any sort of attempt at pushing until they have Antares to push us of that Sigma. And again, getting back into the engagement here. Just more of what we need. Troy just needs to continue to keep up this momentum, especially playing off of each other effectively. As we see, Antares keeping up that aggressive tank approach, which, I mean, you love to see, right? He's setting the tempo for his team. Typically, you would assume that your DPS would be able to set your tempo, which, of course, they can. Especially Braxy here taking these kills where he can. Rope getting one there. Braxy getting another one, taking out the Sigma. A great kill there. Get that tank off the board while you're pushing that payload. That's exactly what you need right now. And looking like we have a bit of peace here regarding how the rest of the game has gone so far. Troy kind of getting to take it easy. That payload making moves, though. Delaware needs to hurry if they have any chance of actually stopping this here. Taking a side position here, getting a lot of damage there. Spruce going to take out Mackie though, and completely caught off guard is Mag by Braxy, doing a lot of damage. This positioning is just amazing by Braxy. 2 kills there for him. Rope going to finish off Sigma. And going to take round 1 here is Troy. Again, they continued to keep up that momentum. The initial gunfight, it looks a lot like what we had just saw there. You know, they got the initial gunfight, sure, stalemated. And by the way, check this guy out. That's a sick outfit. But anyways, yeah, Troy, really what they did well there was just they kept up that initial momentum, right? They got that momentum. They started winning the initial fight. And of course, like any round, you're going to have times where, you know, you slow down, you stagnate. But that's the thing, that you need to take that stagnation and those team resets as a reset, right? It is to be able to come back, regroup as a team, push again with your tank, with your DPS and support, and just move as a unit. And I really love what we're seeing here by Troy, to be able to move so effectively as a unit, which is exactly what we need here. Now moving here, taking positions. Troy.
You think we shouldn't fight back?
I think you need to start fighting smarter.
Spray paint going on the taxi there. Is that a Sigma spray paint? I was unaware that there was separate. Would you look at that? That's pretty cool. That's kind of how I feel right now. Seeing my team succeed like they are now, that is exactly my emotion right there. And setting up my static cameras here. Going to see how Troy takes this. I'm assuming they're going to take a little more of a defensive approach, of course, since the payload has not been unlocked yet. And Therese going to get these first engagements going. And again, I mean, Delaware is just all consolidated in this one area and allowing Troy to really do a lot of damage, especially Lauren there taking a lot of damage. Mackie as well on the Bastion. About to go down, in fact. No, but he will have the shield go up. And Spruce into it as well. Just, yeah, initial engagement, this is good. A stalemate right here, of course. But it looks like Troy will be able to hold their ground, especially that support coming in from Jacob. You really love to see that. Although it does look like Delaware is inching a bit closer. If we come into our aerial view here, we can see that, yeah, starting back at that crosswalk around, you can kind of see that's where Delaware was initially playing at. And yeah, they've just kind of inched closer, but kind of getting cornered. Is this Sigma having no choice but to back up into his support players. Kind of got caught playing on his own there. A lot of damage going in. Mag dealing a team kill. Not a team kill, a team ability on Mackie there. And the artillery coming from Spruce there. Not dealing any kills, but being able to get some damage done. Oh, thank you, man. Guys, I just got food. Guys, I just got food shipped to me. This is definitely going to be an amazing stream here. Just got some food. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Yeah, I mean, Delaware, they kind of took that initial position. They were playing far up. But then after that, they kind of, they took their space, right? They played at that crosswalk. They inched a little closer, and then they stagnated, right? They stagnated, and now they're back getting pushed to their spawn. Again, just amazing play overall by the team. Rope here with that ult ready in his back pocket. Getting the healing there on Braxy, and again, looking at Antares here, just playing that Sigma really, really well. I mean, what else can you say? This is exactly what we need right now. And switching back over to Braxy, yeah, really good positioning here, taking out Mackie. Getting a lot of damage. His DPS is racking up. And there goes Braxy again. Antares taking out Snow. Really just, I love to watch this. I love to sit here and watch this. Just like the positioning by the players is just like really, really good so far. Especially since, you know, they're holding this space for a reason. It's not just because of good aim or because of amazing utility use. It's just great positioning so far here. Braxy taking another one. Baptiste going down. Braxy on a roll here. Getting 2 more back to back. And another one he is asking for. That Sigma may be going down soon here. Absolutely stellar from Braxy there to not give Delaware a break for a second. Coming back here, looks like he may get into an engagement. Rope there on 1 HP. Snow going to take out Rope. The artillery going down. Antares taking that damage but not getting killed. It looks like Braxy may be stuck here, getting out somehow, some way. Amazing there. and still holding their ground effectively. 42 seconds on the clock to continue doing this, but we can definitely tell Delaware is able to take that space a little more, dealing that damage, especially that artillery strike, getting Antares half, not really allowed to play that offensive tank that he kind of wants to right now. Getting back in the thick of it, Braxy taking out Mackie there, or Lauren, excuse me. Spruce going to take out Snow there, and again, I mean, we're just watching really like just good play right now. Now getting over here, I really do want to see this, what's happening here. Yeah, so it appears, yeah, Delaware did end up switching to the ball. That's what I was curious about. I saw the ball. Every time I see a ball, I'm always having flashbacks. But yeah, there goes the ball, kind of playing aggressive like a ball would, but not going to work for Delaware, not the change they needed. And there we go, ending that second game. Troy will go ahead and take their first of the season. I know exactly what play we're finna see. I know exactly what play we're about to see. Yep, this was stellar. Braxy is really on one tonight. 1, 2, 3, just it is amazing. And then he goes and then welcome guys to Illois. Beautiful map right here. Uh-oh, somebody left the game. I wonder if that is a sub or not. Let's hear it. It doesn't look like a player, so I'm going to assume that it is a sub, but hopefully that doesn't affect the game. Now just take a look at that, right? This beautiful. Now as we get started here for this cap point, we will say that Troy is probably going to go play somewhat similar to how they did before, especially with that tank play. Antares was playing amazing on that tank. Braxy was really lighting it up. We have a lot of clips from Braxy, I'm sure. But we see Chief here hopping on the Junkrat, now switching over to the Reaper. Jacob staying on that Wu Yang and Rope on that Kariko. Braxy back on that Sojourn. We are happy to see that. And that Reinhardt for Antares. Braxy switching that Symmetra. All right, a lot of switching going on, but for good reason. Back on that Winston now and the Sojourn. Looks like he was debating between the Symmetra and the Sojourn. But looking here at the point, Ronbot being aggressive early, jumping up, taking a quick foothold against Troy to stop them advancing, getting that nice vantage point there. And looks like Ronbot will really be playing a good position here. Let's take a look at this position. Yeah, by the looks of it, he's just going to try to keep this, hold this general area right here, because this will prevent Troy from really moving over. If you can look and tell, these alleyways, the way this map is split up, forces Troy to have to funnel into that line of sight either which way, right? Jacob here on the Wu Yang, providing that good support for his players, and Braxy pushing up off of Antares, getting some pot shots, and Braxy will take out Lunar Curve. Go ahead and get Troy on the board with the kills. First blood there. Getting a lot of damage spread across, but not really anything that finishes anybody off around here. Some good aim there. Going after that Genji, but Genji will back off. Contested side here. Troy finally getting some percentage on the board. 4-1. Moving off of the site though. Drummer will go down. Looking up here where a majority of the fight is happening. Again, Troy containing this site. Chief here on the Reaper. Playing up close next to Winston. That will be Antares playing Winston. Yeah, and Troy kind of just going to settle in now here. Now that they've got the control of this point, like we said, that was a good retake by them. Of course, they lost the point early, but really, DePaul didn't get an opportunity to settle in. So, again, Winston here, Antares playing very aggressive, trying to hold this space, not let them get a foothold on the site, getting all in their face, allowing his DPS to sit behind and actually do their job. We see Braxy here taking a more passive position up top here. Looking to kill Drummer, but not the port too good there. Getting a lot of damage on Rombot. Getting that Winston off the board would be excellent for Troy here in this situation. Going to take out Joyful Soda there, though. Another one for Braxy going on fire. Ronbot, though, going to trade off Chief. Coming after Braxy now is Ronbot. Looking here. Yeah, he will take Braxy off the board. Looking up here. Looks like DePaul is establishing control once again. A good retake by them. Really, Braxy was putting in the work there. So was Chief. But then getting both picked off. That DPS leaving the board. And Troy did hold for but a moment, but it looks like DePaul will settle in, playing more of a passive position at first, but Rombot does look like he's going to come face to face with Antares. Winston on Winston. Antares occupying that position that Rombot once did. Just trying to wait for his team so they can push together and then again retake this point effectively. Troy only down 28% here, so they wouldn't have to hold for long to be able to finish off and get a 1-0 lead here on this first map. Rombot though getting really aggressive once again, and we just see here Braxy coming around trying to find people he can kill, and there goes Joyful Soda off the board. Jacob taking AMs, and really DePaul needs opportunity here to reset. They are losing people left and right. And now Troy Knight gets nice and settled in. Looking at the ult economy, we have one ult here on Troy, Chiefs Reaper ult. And really, DePaul's kind of lacking in the ult section. I mean, there's not really anything that they can do here. And there it goes, Chief with that Reaper ult going down, unfortunately. But as we could see right there, he absolutely went on fire. I wish I would have caught that. I should have anticipated the usage of that ult earlier, I will admit. But regardless, an amazing use of it right there for Chief, getting Troy that point secured once and for all, and going to give us a 1-0 lead here. Now again, like Troy, like what we saw here, much of the same. Troy broken record in a good way, doing the same thing, and it is working. They got those retakes locked in, and they take control, but it's not like a back and forth kind of game. Really, over the span of this game, it is more of a Troy will take that control, but then they will actually hold the control very effectively. So you love to see that from Troy right now, especially considering we are playing better competition at this point, and looks like we are going to get quick action here on the point. Chief getting into the thick of it immediately. Confronted by Ronbot though, tank on DPS. Looks like Chief might be able to get this Winston off the board immediately. That would be very good for Troy. And yes, he will. Chief will take that Winston off the board immediately. An amazing opportunity here for Troy to get a large portion of this percentage already taken up. No tank for DePaul to push off of, and DePaul, yeah, there we go, getting picked off. After that tank goes down and the only people left to look for are the squishies, there's really not much they can do. Ronbot though coming back, getting aggressive, trying to make up for that lost percentage early. And Chief there taking down Drummer. Chief really on fire right now. Taking a look at Chief here on this Reaper, really making great use of this DPS role here. Chief not having played last game, Spruce in for Chief last game. Chief playing now this game and really showing why he has been put into this game against better competition, really putting in the work here. This positioning really good for him. Holding these higher places where he knows he is going to get into fights, really giving him as many opportunities as possible to actually deal the damage that he is here to deal. Braxy, we can see here on this Ronbot, once again, really gets swarmed. No support here for him, coming late. By the time they arrived, he was already dead, but just enough to keep him alive here. Looking here at Antares, yeah, and in the thick of it, as you can tell, when you switch to that tank, there really is no way of knowing what is happening. It really is wondrous how these guys are able to play this game at such a high level. And looking here, Antares is getting very aggressive here, going after those two squishies, but he won't be able to get full control of this top area to do it all by himself. Overleaping a little bit in a confrontation with Ronbot now. Getting away, trying to get that good position he had back so he can take care of those supports that were staying up there, trying to hold that position on their own. Ronbot here in a fight with basically the entire Troy team. He has really not had a moment where he was not in a fight with Troy. There goes Chief again with that ult. Really just he's everywhere right now, Chief is. Antares taking two, and then Chief following up a team kill to finish off this second point. And that will give Troy a 1-0 lead against DePaul quickly. My money's on Chief. Yep, there we go, Chief. Who would have expected it? Let's see this. This is probably going to be the ult I missed, and I mean, it was just excellent from him, what he did there. Popping that ult here. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just early on in the bracket making. It is a bit of a toss-up, a bit of a mixed bag, randomized. Of course, again, I don't know if I ever stated this, but as we get further and further into the season, the games will be probably more fair, more balanced. But until then, we still can expect some good games, and not free games exactly. Sure, Troy has been in control, but it really has been just a product of good play. Looking at Troy here, still making their decisions on who they might play. Rope staying on that Kariko all night. And Therese, as we saw earlier, playing that Sigma. He played that Sigma very well on Midtown. Jacob staying on that Wu Yang. Those two support players sticking to their roles, and it is working. Chief looking to play the Mei. Maybe not, though. We will see. Looking here at DePaul, though, taking these defensive positions, waiting, not getting right up onto the payload. This is good, though. They're going to try to hold this effective position early and then not lose it. Of course, that is what you want to do, especially so what if Troy gets a little bit of free payload movement. If they can hold this choke point here, they will be able to win this game either by just running out the clock, really, is what we can expect here. And I mean, we can see here Ronbot holding this possession very aggressive early on this Ramatra here. He is really not letting up anything whatsoever. But again, getting up in their face is Troy. Not letting that phase them whatsoever. We see Antares here on the Sigma, taking all the damage, soaking up, doing exactly what he was meant to do here, getting the attention of the entirety of the DePaul team, while Braxy and Chief can sit back. Braxy on this Widowmaker. We're probably going to see some clips from Braxy here on this sniper rifle, I will admit. Sitting back, letting them be calm and not have to worry about being pressured by people coming to, the other DPSs coming to get him, maybe the tank coming to get them, right? Because Nartez, he is actually doing a good job of holding that pressure. Seeing here, Chief will go down, though, to Soda. Jacob playing this backline, kind of all up in the thick of it. I mean, yeah, any more here, and he might be taken out here. I mean, looks like good position up there on that vantage point by DePaul. Looking like they may be able to actually pick off some of Troy's support here. Antares still just in the middle of it all, not letting that phase him at all. Switching to the Pharah, though, is Chief. So he wasn't feeling the Mei, evidently, and let's see if this change is going to be worthwhile. Of course, we didn't see much Mei gameplay, so it's not that we could really judge. And going down by Drummer there is Chief. Holding very effectively so far is DePaul, though. Not really faltering whatsoever. You can see Troy kind of been stuck in this same spot on this slope here. Despite the fact that Antares has been playing good tank play, it is still just DePaul doing a good job of focusing on the squishies, making sure that the people who are actually getting the job done down in the back, the DPS and the support, aren't able to do what they're here to do. But as I say that, I eat my words as Troy starts progressing up, getting past that first slope. Braxy switched to the Cassidy here, going down though, unfortunately, and we will see Antara still in the thick of it here. Chief hopping on to Vendetta, the newest hero in the game. More coming next week, by the way. But he will take very aggressive position, spinning the win here. Not letting him get close, though, is that Genji Drummer, playing this very well, getting away from the melee attack of Vendetta. Really well played there by Drummer, I will admit. Jacob here, playing that good support, especially for Anartez. You notice Anartez had not died yet, right? I mean, they're keeping their tank alive. They're doing their job. They're moving this payload. Even though we stagnated for a moment there, Troy has managed to really open the floodgates here, have gotten a ton of movement on this payload. Still 3 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock, forcing DePaul to take a more defensive position instead of trying to play up in their face again. Looking here at Jacob, playing this support for Anartez. And speaking of Anartez, let's go and check out what he's got going on up there. And yep, what did we expect? Absolute chaos here right from Anartez, especially holding the line for Chief and Braxy here, allowing them to deal their damage. And that's exactly how we're going to open up here. AMZ, though, taking Anartez. The tank is off the board for Troy, giving DePaul an opportunity to chase down the squishies here. Braxy having no choice but to retreat from that Ramatra. And we can see where Troy is going to play here. Braxy kind of holding it by himself. Rope coming to support, though. And looking at Braxy here, I'm not sure they're aware of his positioning, but Anartez coming back up to refill that tank role that Troy desperately needs to continue the movement of this payload. Though Troy has already got a point on the board, surely that will increase though, looking that Troy has regrouped and coordinating once again. Drummer playing that heaven position, but not really letting himself take any damage. Is Drummer playing it very passively but very effectively. Chief there killing DBB. I'm not going to say that guy's name again. I cannot say that. But yeah, on this Vendetta, I mean, really in the thick of it, Chief is going crazy right now. He has the entirety of the DePaul squad in his face. How is he not dead yet? This is actually amazing right here, what we're seeing, guys. Anartez getting a kill, but going down finally is Chief. You were wondering when it was going to happen. Chief was in the thick of it on that Vendetta, and he stayed alive for a long time. Back on the board already is Braxa. We saw earlier he got a pick, but then was traded immediately after. Not really seeing as much kill action as we had seen. Well, we have seen the kill action, but I mean to say consecutive kill action from Troy here. They are playing the payload for sure. You notice that they are not forcing the kills. They're playing the payload and taking their damage where they can get it, right? They're not forcing anything, which is good from Troy right here. This is what they need. They need to play this passive, especially since they're so close to that last little bit of payload. Braxy here in the thick of it, not getting any kills though. BP taking out Joyful, now taking out Antares on the Sigma. Drummer taking out Rope, and Rombot taking out Braxy. BP going ahead and taking Jacob off the board, and what is essentially a team wipe there for DePaul. Troy struggling to get this last little bit of payload moved. I mean, we can definitely see that this is DePaul's happy place right now, and of course this position is naturally more advantageous for the defenders, but regardless of that, DePaul is playing it very well, much better than they played that control map last time on Illiois. They are definitely holding their positions well. I guess they are, despite the fact that Troy isn't forcing anything, they are allowing Troy to walk into their positions. We've noticed that they have been playing their heaven positions very effectively, not making themselves get in any dangerous situations. The only one, of course, doing that is their tank, as he should be. Ramatra Ronbot here, getting all up in Troy's face, but Braxy will go ahead and take down the one. Ronbot, though, just going on a crazy streak right there, getting all up in Troy's face, cleaning up what his DPS started, and again, Troy looking like they will not get out of this with more than just 1 point. And Rombot here just really putting in the work. See, like I was saying, those squishies getting forced into pushing because they're running out of time is allowing Rombot to take advantage of that and deal so much damage, because Antares, as we see him arriving now, is not on site to soak up that damage for his squishies, right? So it's not ideal, to say the least. It's definitely not ideal for Troy. And I realized I forgot to update the score. Let me do that. Anyways, like I was saying though, Troy's definitely going to have to change something in terms of how they play the escort. If they were to obviously play it again, now there is going to be flip-flop. They're not going to be on the escort anymore. They're going to be stopping the escort, stopping that payload. But we can definitely see Troy's defensive play better. We can say that for sure, because now that DePaul is going to have to take initiation on this payload, they're going to have to be forced into those more attacking roles, more attacking initiatives, which of course Troy can play off of. We see where Drummer was playing right here. And yeah, Troy just going to go ahead and take their positions like you would on any other Shambali escort. Looking here though, Braxy will switch to the Soldier. Interested in Chief on the Genji. So definitely switching up in terms of hero choice, probably for the sake of a more defensive game to be played right here. And who's that dancing in there? They are having a party in there. They must be ready to move this payload. I'm sure they are. And again, Troy taking that similar position that DePaul did at the start of the round. Chief here playing on the Pharah. Why did I say that was Genji, by the way? Anyways, Chief here playing on the Pharah. Back. Same with Braxy. Kind of playing together are Braxy and Chief, trying to layer that DPS. Antares taking a lot of damage there, as we just saw. Probably back into a more attacking sided position, but he will take out BP. Chief getting Drummer there. Rope here, playing more of an attacking support role on this Kiriko. Getting all up in DePaul's face. Love to see that. And Chief, again, will just clean up. Dealing a lot of damage there to basically eliminate the entirety of DePaul's team. Of course, coming back for round 2, attacking the same positions, they're going to have to make some form of adjustment. Looking like they're going to take more of a backside approach earlier. As we saw, that is where Chief just got a 3-piece back here on his backside. So obviously, you could expect to see that more. But again, just getting really aggressive here is Chief, but Drummer going to take Chief off the board right there quicker. Braxy down here on the soldier, not killing BP there. He really could have used that one. Getting an opportunity to get away, but in pursuit is Braxy, going to finish off BP there. 5-player kill streak for Braxy. Looks like we're going to be keeping the camera on you for a minute, sir. And getting back up into that nice vantage point to be able to basically become a sharpshooter now. After he had just chased down BP, he went from a hunter to now just a sniper essentially. And of course, that's how you should be playing this heaven position as much as you can, as much as the pressure is not there to force you off of it. Go ahead and take that opportunity to, right? Chief here coming with the ult. And there it goes right there. Getting at least one is Chief. Braxy back on fire. Here he goes. Really good aim there by Braxy. Another one back in a rematch with BP. Half health though. And Chief will finish off BP. Playing great dual damage here is Chief and Braxy, finishing off each other's kills whenever the other can't. That's really, really good by Troy. And here they get another breather to reposition. Looking like DePaul is struggling to take this attacking side. Now running up here is Ronbot. All by himself it looks. No, there comes the support though. Antares holding the line here. Playing that close support is Rope and Jacob. And a lot going on right here. I mean, what can you say? In BP going crazy right there. Taking out 3-1. Drummer going to sweep it up. And DePaul now gets an opportunity to move that payload forward here after essentially wiping Troy. Now, of course, it looked like DePaul made the proper adjustments, especially since, you know, Troy was kind of getting beaten down. 2 successful defenses, but it wasn't like they were free. It was the result of good defensive play in terms of attacking. You know, the best defense is a good attack, some might say. So that's really what Troy had been up to right there, was utilizing that ability to double layer that damage in order to get more kills. And there we see Chief getting 2 there. Drummer taking out Jacob, does support off the board. And Braxy getting Drummer, though. Again, I mean, Braxy just in it. Forced to run away, though. He will get away with his life, thankfully. Soda taking out the Sigma, though. And Chief back at it. Let's see if Braxy can get this from Matra off the board. That would help Troy a lot. Chief doing it, though, for Braxy. Really all up into Paul's face here. Another one for Chief. Chief is on fire right now. Another one. Oh, my goodness. Chief really putting in the work there. This damage over the course of this entire game. And there goes another ult for Chief to essentially back-to-back. And that will give Troy the win here. Second game, second win. That is what we want to see. BP, no surprise that he's actually getting the play of the game. We did see this in the aerial view. He was putting in the work.